Hopefully you've already watched Jasper to Lake Louise Part 1. It included a trip to Maligne Canyon where we saw some amazing things. And then we moved on to Athabasca Falls where, oh wait, we saw some amazing things. But let's keep going. Hi, Michelle here from Travelling Over 60. Come join me on this adventure. Now, after Athabasca Falls, we kept going until we hit the Colombian Ice Fields, where we're going on an ice explorer. Now, this ice explorer, it's going to take us up onto the glacier where we'll get to walk. This is our first glimpse of the glacier.
This coming up is the glacier that we're going to walk on.
Oh, okay.
And you can see the Ice Field Explorer just at halfway up the lip of the glacier there on the right hand side. You see it? That, folks, is the Athabasca Glacier being oozed out.
So this is the glacier where we're going to be. Now zoomed in, you can see the ice explorers there on the glacier. Our tickets are for after lunch. So before we do the glacier walk, let me show you around. I'll show you the ground and where everything is, and even where the cafe is that we had lunch. We have arrived at the Colombian Ice Fields. We're about to go on an ice cap. We got off the bus and the ground's pretty good. A few cracks, loose stones. Just take it easy and be careful. Snow on the side. And we're going to cross over this little bridge. This takes you down to what they call the chalet, I think. And it has a restaurant, a Starbucks, a cafe, toilets, washrooms as they call them here. And I'm going to show you all around. Let's go. Let's walk a bit faster. So far, as you can see, everything is easy walking. It's very accessible here. Now, look at that view. I know I always say this is my adventure, you need to come and experience it for yourself, but I can't not show you. But you do need to come and experience it for yourself. And the chalet over there, and then we'll line up there too. Just looking at the sign, it looks like it has everything we need. So let's go inside and have a look. Now if you're coming here on your own and you haven't got a ticket, there's a ticket booth here, but it's best to buy your tickets online. Now right opposite where the tickets are, and across in this little alcove, there is a lift if you need it. If you come down past the stairs, you'll find the washrooms here. If you come all the way to the back, you will find a Starbucks there. We're coming down here. There's a restaurant upstairs, and I'm not sure what else. We're going to go and have a look. Top of the stairs, there's the restaurant. And coming over here, fantastic view. And a cafe at the end here. Cafe entrance is there, and as you come out, you see this wall. If you walk down in that little alcove, that's where the lift is. So it's a little cafeteria. You just go through, pick what you want, come out, pay for it, and then find a spot to sit here and have, for us, it's lunch with a view. Keep in mind, it's just a cafe. It had like a cafeteria sort of setup where you walked along, looked in the windows and picked out what food you wanted. We opted for the pizza, garlic bread, and something that reminded me of home, a Kit Kat for dessert. So the cafe's in there, and you can come outside. Now it's a really nice day today. Plenty of seats, tables, and plenty of mountains. Up on that viewing area is the perfect spot for photos. And don't forget to take a photo with you in it. Now, we've had our lunch and it's nearly time for us to go and have our Ice Explorer experience. But just before we go, Craig, our tour guide, is going to explain what we're about to do.
Hi, here we are at the Ice Field Parkway Center, and now we're looking out to the Athabasca Glacier. Amazing glacier. You can see how it's oozed out of the Colombia Ice Field and making its way down. What we're going to do in a few minutes, we're going to walk on the base of that glacier, and if you look really closely, you can see the Ice Field Explorers just on the glacier at the left there. That's where we're going in a few minutes. Now, how do we get there? Well, you'll notice a bus coming down, but that same bus goes up, and you can see one at the top of the hill there. It's going down just the hill there, and it's going to stop at a station, and everybody's going to get off of that bus and go on to an Ice Field Explorer. And then what happens is the Ice Field Explorer will make its way through that, what looks like a pile of dirt, but it's actually the moraine. The moraine is what the ice field, or pardon me, the glacier has chewed up and coughed out beside it. That is a lateral moraine. And it's the bus or the Ice Field Explorer is gonna make its way downhill over the moraine and onto the glacier. And we're gonna walk on a glacier.
Now that was Craig from APT. He's our tour guide. Aren't we lucky to have such a great tour guide? So he was very happy to do that for us. And if you're booking a tour, make sure you make it APT. Over to the left there, you can see we're all lining up, waiting to get onto these blue coaches. That's what's going to take us down to the Ice Explorers. We're good to go. Let's get started.
Now we are on our way to the lovely Athabasca Glacier, but to our First Nations neighbours, the Stony people. It was referred to as Cha-a-Tonga. Can you guys all say that with me? Cha-a-Tonga. Very nice.
Looking at this video, it gives you a bit better look at the road. So while you're on the coach, we're on a tarred road. Very smooth, no problems. It was just a short 5 or 10 minutes until we reached the station where we get on the Ice Explorers. We go down and we park where those little huts are, and as you can see, it's gravel now. So we step out and then line up in these little huts. Here might be your hazard. Getting on the Ice Explorer, the steps were huge. There's a railing, you can pull yourself up. Once you get on the Explorer though, the seating's quite comfortable and it fits a lot of people. Take a look. And we're off. The trip will take about 20 minutes to get to the glacier. I just wanted to show you how fast, or rather how slow, the Explorer moves. It doesn't go very fast, but there is points along the road where it got a little bit bumpy. And it is a little noisy. We go up hills and we also come down hills. But again, we're still at that really slow pace. Our driver gave us commentary all the way along, but we got to this really steep part of the road where he had to stop talking and concentrate, and he had to go down really, really slow. Let's have a little look at this. Now, while you're watching us go down this hill, I just want to point out a few things. Firstly, if you look sort of the centre of the screen, you can see where the ice explorers are parked. They do like a little loop there. They go up on the right-hand side, stop there in the middle, let us out, and then come back down around on the left-hand side and down the trail. As you can see, one's doing it right now. This just shows you how well organised it is. They get you down onto this glacier, you have your time to walk around and have a look around, and then you're back on the Ice Explorer and up the trail again, crossing paths in a safe spot, because as you can see, looking at it right now, it's really steep at this section. I don't imagine they ever cross paths here. It's a bit hard to tell, but it did get a little bit bumpy at this section. You can't really tell because the camera has a stabiliser on it, but you can see where there's loose rocks there just in the bottom right-hand corner. So as we're going over those loose rocks, it was a little bit bumpy. The other thing I noticed is where it's wet on the road, if you look sort of to the centre right-hand side of the screen there, where the road is wet, that's also where it got a bit bumpy. Of course, the water running onto the road created potholes just like our roads at home.
So there we go, everyone. Just made it down the world's slowest roller coaster.
Okay, let's speed it up a little bit. I'm sure you're over looking at the road and the hills and the bumps, but I did just want you to see what it all looked like, so then you can make a decision if this excursion's going to be for you. If you had a problem with your back and the bumping, it might have created a bit of drama for you. People on the side of the road, I was a bit shocked at that.
And you can see these people walking up here. Now, we are in a national park. You are allowed to walk and go wherever you like. Again, you are at your own risk when you're outside, especially on a glacier like this. There are some crevasses, which are big cracks in the ice caused from when the glacier moves. So the ice field is constantly pushing ice down, making the glacier move, and it moves back and forth, causing those big cracks.
After hearing that, that is definitely a hazard for us. Now, while we're watching this last little bit of the road, this is a good time to mention. Remember when I got on the coach in the morning, I had my jacket and scarf and my warm hat that I had on the coach with me. I also had my gloves in my bag. Well, when we got to the ice fields, to where the lodge was, we put all those things on, except for the gloves. And it was freezing. We needed every one of those. Now let's have a look when we got off here at the glacier. I don't think you can hear me, but it's windy up here. I was expecting it to be cold, but I was not expecting the wind. Now I just want to have a little look at what we stepped onto. Thank goodness I also had our hiking boots on. There was a few different surfaces that we walked on. There was this crunchy, crumbly ice, but there was also the hard, slippery ice, and then there was spots where there was actually water running. So the best place to walk is on that crunchy ice, and having our walking boots on just gave us a little bit of stability. And just looking back at how we got off the Ice Explorer, as you can see, there's steps and then a little step stool there. Then straight onto that crunchy ice. Be very careful. That first step was a little slippery. Let's take a look at the rest. Now you're going to want the most perfect photo here. And of course, there's a lot of people around and they all want that same photo. So if you walk right up to where that crowd of people were, they have little cones set out and you can stand behind that crowd where the cones are and it looks like nobody else is there. Now, of course, everybody wants this sort of photo, so take your photo and move on quickly so the next person can have the same opportunity. We have 45 minutes on the glacier, but trust me, 45 minutes goes really fast. So make the most of your time, get those amazing photos for proof that you were on a glacier. We even took photos of our feet standing on the glacier. I wish you could see it. It was so blue under that ice. Now we made sure that we picked up some of that ice and held it in our hands. We needed all the proof we could show. Some people even tasted it, but I wasn't going that far. Sadly, our 45 minutes had come to an end and we have to make the 20-minute trip back to the lodge. But before we do, we take these last photos. This one, right beside that tyre. It was huge. And then this one showing how freezing cold it was up there. Make sure you layer your clothes. And a big thank you to my fellow travellers for having this fantastic photo of all of us. Just a quick reminder, if you love seeing the glacier and the ice explorer, give me a thumbs up so I know that you like this video. But don't go anywhere yet. We still have plenty to see. The day isn't over. We're heading towards Lake Louise. Our day has been so full today. We saw a bear before we even got on the coach to leave for Lake Louise. We went and we saw some amazing sights at the canyon and the falls, lunch at the ice fields, the ice explorer, the glacier. And then, while we're on our way to Lake Louise, we saw this.
All right, there you are. There's your bighorn sheep. But those are the young guys. Those are the teenagers.
And straight after that, this happened. I'm sorry about the videoing, but remember, I'm at the back of the bus again.
Just be quiet. Okay, guys, there he is. Right on. Go a little bit further. Right a little bit further. Oh, just stay on there.
Okay, I bet you missed it. Well, let me show you a photo of it. Can you see it? It's so hard to see. It was right on the side of the road. And all the cars that are stopping to look at it as well, they block your view. We were in a coach. We couldn't stop. So we just kept going and got a glimpse of it. Wow, what a day. And finally, we arrived at Lake Louise. But don't think this day has finished yet. Well, the day might have, but not the night. So join me in the next video. What did you think of that video? Give me a thumbs up so that I know that you liked it. If you want to leave a comment, they're down below. Do you want to share this with any of your friends? The share button is also down below. Now, if you haven't subscribed already, please go across and subscribe to my channel. Ring the notification bell, and that way you'll be notified of all my videos when they come up. Don't forget to join me on my next adventure.